I'm David Ainsworth, Head of Communications at the United Nations Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity. In today's Substa 26 Biodiversity Beat interview, we're talking with Julie Bélanger, who's with the Food and Agricultural Organization. Julie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks to you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure.
So, at this meeting, we've been talking a lot about the whole of society, whole of government approach. That's a real important part. Can you tell us why, in that context, agri-food is so important for the biodiversity plan?
Indeed, the adoption of the biodiversity plan was a game changer in the sense that it places agri-food systems at the heart of the plan. So when I talk about agri-food systems, I'm talking about crop livestock production, fisheries, forestry, aquaculture, but also the supply chain, consumers, everything that relates to food loss and waste, and so on. Therefore, the 23 targets of the plan have a link to these topics in a way or another. Of course, Target 10 is central because it's about sustainable agriculture, fishery, forestry, but also Target 11 with ecosystems that support this production, Target 4 on genetic resources for food and agriculture. I could continue, but the point is that most of the targets have a very clear link with agri-food sectors. We also know that agri-food sectors are one of the main drivers of biodiversity loss. We know the numbers, most of them are from FAO in fact, loss of the unsustainable fishing stocks or for example use of water for agriculture and so on. So that really places agri-food systems at the heart of solutions to address these drivers of biodiversity loss. Therefore, taking a whole of society and a whole of government approach, it's really important to include the actors of agri-food systems into the development of NBSAP, development of policies, finding solutions, and technical support, etc. And this is a message that we will bring to COP16, that agri-food systems are really at the heart of solution to biodiversity loss and also to climate change.
So given the centrality of agri-food to realizing the goals and targets of the plan, and given that the FAO is the premier international organization dealing with agri-food, can you give us a few examples of what FAO has been doing now after the adoption of the plan to help us move forward on it?
Yes, thank you for that question. So I'd like to start with the fact that FAO has a biodiversity strategy. So that was adopted in 2019 and it is operationalized by an action plan. A first version ended in 2023, and as we developed with our members the action plan 24-27, we made sure to align it at the level of the targets of the biodiversity plan. Therefore, every activity and deliverable of the action plan are linked to one or more targets of the biodiversity plan. And that covers all of the targets, in fact. So this is the framing. This is what guides our work in FAO. So we're talking about technical divisions in headquarters. We have regional office and country offices in over 130 countries. And we have this coordinating unit, biodiversity mainstreaming unit, that is overseeing that everything makes sense and is aligned with the biodiversity plan. So in terms of what we've been doing since the adoption of the plan to support, I will just give a few examples because I don't want to take too much time. But for example, at the policy level, helping countries, members develop their national biodiversity strategy and action plan or revising them where agri-food sectors are related, are concerned. We had a lot of requests from members for technical expertise on this, so we've helped already over 40 countries and there are more and more requests, so this is very positive. We've helped with regional biodiversity strategy and action plans, and then in technical terms the development of indicators. We're working on Target 2, the indicator for ecosystem restoration, but also guidelines to harmonize efforts on implementing Target 2 in all ecosystems, Target 7 for pesticide risk reduction, and finally we've been also helping countries access finance, for example supporting submission to the Global Biodiversity Framework Fund. So I will end here, but we are very engaged, our members are very committed to FAO being part of the biodiversity plan, and we really want to partner with as many countries and partners and organizations as possible to make this happen.
So if you had to put together one message that you would send it to all these actors who are involved in agri-food systems, what would it be?
Well, I think I've said it already a few times. I would say, in short, agri-food systems are at the heart of solutions to the crisis of biodiversity loss, food insecurity, of course, and climate change. So we know that there are almost 800 million people that are suffering from hunger. As of today, this is a huge number. Over 3 billion people do not have access to a healthy diet. So there is a huge problem there. And solutions to these problems need to also contribute to addressing the biodiversity and climate issues. So what is important for agri-food system actors to understand is that without biodiversity, as I said, there is no food security, there's no nutrition, because you will not produce without pollinators, without healthy and biodiverse and fertile soils, with healthy habitats for fisheries, species, and so on. So this is the message that we're bringing to our members and stakeholders in the agriculture community, so that they really realize the importance of biodiversity for their work, for their policies. And again, this is the message that we will bring to COP16.
That's excellent. So one more thing just to say is, so as you've got that message, what should governments be doing then to support all this constellation of actors?
That is a very good question. There's a lot of work to be done. So these actors of agri-food system, they need technical support. They need the know-how to find solutions that make the best sustainable use of the resources that we have. For example, by closing the pollination gap, we can increase food production by up to 30%. But there needs to be some technical support and transfer of knowledge for farmers to be able to do that, for policymakers to support that through policies, also through financial support. So I just want to end with this point. It's really important to support financially all those actors through incentives and through repurposing those subsidies in agriculture. This is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity for helping financing this transition to sustainable food and agriculture.
Ending with the question of money and financing subsidies is excellent. Judy, thank you so much for taking time with us, and let's talk again at COP16.
With pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.